Hi ladies, so I had a question quite a long time ago and I made a video for it, edited the whole thing, and as I watched it back, parts were like cutting in and out and you couldn't hear what I was saying, and so I wanted to redo it. But someone asked me what different type of brushes you can get, but also which ones are used for what, and I thought, wow, what a good idea, what a good thing that I hadn't even covered on the blog. Sometimes I assume that you guys know things and I don't want to annoy you with simple things, but this definitely isn't a simple thing, and it's such a great question. So basically our eye has 3 parts to it that we're gonna do makeup on, other than the bottom right here. I guess that would be an added little something, but our lid, our crease, and then our brow bone. And different brushes, they really can make or break your look. I can't say that enough. The type of brushes you use, the product that you use sometimes affects definitely what it looks like, but these are just some of my brushes. I didn't want to bring them all out, and some have product on them because lo and behold, I wear makeup every day, so I use them. And then these are some of my face brushes. I couldn't fit all of them into my little canister. I think I need to get a bigger one. But I wanted to talk about some of the basics. Things to use on your lid. I've noticed that instead of swiping, I love a patting motion. It deposits a lot more product, and sometimes the applicators that come in your eyeshadows, those are great. Those are amazing. And you can just use that to pat color onto your lid. If you want something that's not as packed on, as dense, you can use either the 239 from MAC, or this one is the Maxine's Mop. It's a flat shader brush. Patting that on is great. If you're to look at the tip of that though, it's not necessarily ideal for going back and forth unless you want a very precise line. You want something that's going to blend a little bit better than that. So this is great for patting things on your lid or going underneath your brow bone. You could swipe with this one underneath your brow bone because it has a better point, like that. So this one are the 239 from MAC, and with this, if you don't have a little applicator that came in the eyeshadow, if you keep building with this, that will give you the same effect as well. Other things to use on your lid if you really want to pack on the color. This one is one of my favorites. It's the E55. Again, has product on it, but it's such a fabulous brush. Again, flat shader brush, so it's a little bit more pointed on the sides, but it's pretty fat, and you can use that to pack color on or go underneath your brow bone like that as well. Another one that you could use is the 213. It's a little bit fatter on the side, but still a flat shader brush, like that. Okay, it's the flat shader brushes are just more wide on the side, and patting in, dusting underneath brow bone, just a great tool. Now, ones that go in your crease. These are my favorite. These are so much fun. I have a smaller lid space, so sometimes I like to start with a more precise line and then blend it out. Sometimes I use my 272. It's angled, so it's nicer when I'm working in the crease. It is a little bit of a flat shader brush, if you'll notice how thin it is this way. So much wider this way, but it gives me a nice precise line, and then I'm able to blend it out with one of my favorite brushes, which is the 217 from MAC, which doesn't, oh, here's one. Here's the 217 from MAC. You'll notice going to the side, it's not a flat shader anymore, is it? It's wider, but it's also pretty floofy. And the 217 works best for me because I have a small lid space and because it's just a thinner brush than some of the bigger ones that we'll get into. Or this is, oh goodness, $22 or $24, I believe, but this one's only $9. This is the trial size that you get for free with Sigma when you order over $25. But this one, the full size, is also only $9. It's E25. Same thing as the 217, just kind of floofy. And this one is great for doing your windshield wiper motion, depositing color on there. And I've said tons of times before, use one brush to deposit, to put on the color, to place it where you want. Use another one, but a clean one, to blend it. That might sound like an unnecessary step, but try it and see the difference. It's quite amazing. So the 217 and the E55 are great for placement, for putting that color in the crease. And then I love to use the 224 or the E40. This is the E40 and this is the 224. They basically look the same. Only one is $9. Some of the fibers do come out, but it's worth the less cost for me. I know I said that incredibly wrong, but anyway, so this one is a little bit fluffier, but it's so great to swirl out color and to really, really blend your look. And the whole point of blending with a clean brush is, have you ever noticed when you use the same exact brush that had a little bit of product on it and try and swirl it, it pulls that color up into your brow bone. It makes it look all bushy. It pulls it into tons of different places. But with this, it just seamlessly blends them out. So these brushes, the bigger ones, if you have a bigger lid space, this could act as your 217 for placement, and then a clean one to swirl it out. I can't do that with my left hand. To just kind of swirl it out and make it look completely flawless. Or you can use the 217 if you have the smaller lid space. This is another one of my favorites. This is the 222. It's just very long, more slender. You get more control. I like to contour with this one. It works really, really great as a contour. This one can also be placement. It's such a great brush. So long, slender, but still floofy, crease. Definite crease. These ones that look like this kind of looks like a flat shader, except for it's more synthetic. And it's been said that when you have a synthetic brush, that's what you use for concealer, for foundation. Not always the case. I have found that the 224 or the E40 is really great at swirling foundation and concealer underneath your eye. It just buffs it out beautifully. I use this to put on powder flage as well. But this one I really like if I'm using a paint pot from MAC. I'll just swipe it in the paint pot and then put it on that way. So it's really good with cream-based products. This is the 252 from MAC. And if I would have put nail polish on that, you would be able to see it. Right when you get your new brushes, put nail polish over them, and that way you'll still see the number. Anything that's pointed like this is going to give you a lot more control if you want to put something in your crease, or if you want to put color underneath and you want it to blend really, really well. Pointed brushes are so great for that. This can also do concealer right up there. Anything where you would want it to be pretty precise, a precise line, I would use that for. Ones to use on the bottom of your lashes, you can always use a flat shader. This is the 239 or the Maxine's Mop. The Maxine's Mop has a little baby one. Where is that? Here it is. That one's kind of cute. I love that one. I always use that one on the, oh, I'm peeling. I always use that one on the bottom. Other ones that I use on the bottom are a Sonia Kashuk brush that I got. Just any ones that are really, really short that will give great control and that are flat. Whoops. I also use the Sonia Kashuk for a lip brush, anything little tiny like that. I have found that I get more control with a lip brush now after practicing for a while than even with using the tube. Plus, I've put all my lipsticks into a palette, so I need to use a brush. An angled shader. These ones are great for concealer. I use these for concealer to make the line more precise on someone's lip, to do a nude lip, but to still not have it be drained of color. I'll take a lighter concealer and kind of line around the lips in different places. This one's really, really like pointed though, so I wouldn't use this for my brows because it would just do a line. I like something that's a little bit more floofy at the end. And this one I got from the craft store. This is the rose petal one, and you'll see this in where I talk about the craft store brushes. So I use this for my brows. I love this on my brows. For the tail of my brow, sometimes I will use a more precise brush. This is the this is a Robert Simmons Angle Shader E57. You get that at the craft store. And then at the craft store also, this is the 1/8 inch Low Cornell Angular brush. And I love this one for putting on my liner. Short strokes are always the key to liner, and I find that this one is short enough on the end to where it's not one of those long ones. I'm just not good at the long ones that come in like the liquid liners that you can find. I'm just not good at it. I need more control, and this one is really great for that. Anything that's big, you're gonna use all over your face. The smaller ones are great for contouring. I haven't found that the angled ones are any better for contouring than just a smaller round mop. I really haven't. Here's the 129 from MAC. This is the travel size 129. This is a Nicole Miller powder brush. I feel like my voice is getting very monotonous, sorry. This is the F20. I love this brush. It's so soft. This is from Sigma. This is also from Sigma. This one, the 187, that has synthetic and natural fibers for the bristles, is great for foundation. It's also great for cream blush everywhere. But always ask, instead of going into a store and saying, oh, I want this brush and this brush, ask to look at all the brushes, because mine, like, I've seen Tiffany D's makeup and hers is like super spread out, and it's the same exact brush. So all of them are just like sewn in differently and they look different. This is the 190 from MAC, and I still use this for not foundation really anymore because I find it to be too streaky. The 187 works great for me. This one, however, I do use for moisturizer and for some concealer and patches that are a little bit bigger than just little spot treatments. Also, the brushes that are little tiny that you use for lip brushes, those are great to do concealer with as well. So those are all the basics and the brushes that I have. I have multiples of them, so that's why it looked like I had more. But I'll make a list of my top 5 brushes that I think every girl should have, and then you can decide where you get those from. I'll list prices and all that kind of stuff. But great question. I hope that helped, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.